5000 nits of brightness, 200 megapixel 3x telephoto camera, and the Snapdragon 8 Elite. This is the Honor Magic 7 Pro, and today I'm gonna talk about a few aspects of this phone and see if it's worth buying or not. But before we start, there's something that I want to talk about. My fellow Indians are more than 22% of my total viewers, and I'm pretty honored, but the thing is that average view duration from you guys is around 1 minute and 30 seconds. And this has some negative effects on the channel and my team. So what I'm asking you to do is just to watch the video till the end. Trust me, you ain't gonna lose anything. Now this is Whiteforge and let's get to the video. We're at the time that smartphones stop being interesting and innovative, but Honor is that company that combines and fits every single futuristic tech in their smartphones. Now, let's start with the design. The Honor Magic 7 Pro is an absolutely beautiful phone. It got beautiful colors as well: Lunar Shadow Grey, Breeze Blue, and Black. I gotta say that Lunar one is my favorite. Now in front of the phone we get a quite familiar cutout on top, which is, believe it or not, looks like the dynamic island. Now Honor has been doing this for a few times, but they said that Honor was the first company that introduced this fill-shaped cutout in 2019. The display is slightly curved. It's not continuing the trend that other companies are doing, and it might not be anyone's favorite, but it's mine. I like the curved design. You know, because when you swipe from left and right, it gives you a pleasant and smooth feel. And it's at 6.8 inches, which is quite good for a flagship smartphone. Now, the frame of the phone is made of metal, of course, a glossy one. And you know what's my feeling about these glassy things? It's a fingerprint magnet. Now on the back of the phone, we get a symmetrical quad camera setup, which looks nicer than that Mike Wazowski shape on the previous generation. And the back glass is matte, thankfully. And it kinda blends to the frame, as you can see, which gives it more of a luxurious feel, to be honest. And you know, the overall design of the Honor Magic 7 Pro is quite balanced. And I like it, because it's not too boring and it's not too messy and weird either. Okay, now it's time to talk about the display. The Honor Magic 7 Pro features a 6.8-inch FHD Plus LTPO 120Hz AMOLED display, which is quite good. Now this kind of display goes pretty easy on your eyes, since it has a, trust me, it ain't easy to read, 4320Hz PWM flicker-free dimming, which is pretty good for someone who's always on their phone, or use it at night before you're going to sleep, which is pretty good, to be honest. You know, Honor always cared about their users' eyes. Now the display is quite bright too. As I mentioned in the first of the video, this thing's display brightness can go up to 5000 nits. It's more than 3000 nits brighter than the iPhone and almost twice as the S25 Ultra. Now I ain't gonna say those phones are bad, but they gotta catch up someday. Trust me, by the end of this year, we might see some 6000 nits brightness on the display. Who knows? Now that amount of brightness that I said was for HDR. When you use it outdoors, it goes up to 1600, which is pretty usable, even if you use sunglasses. It supports Dolby Vision and HDR, of course, which makes the media playback pretty enjoyable. Now under this bright display, we got an ultrasonic fingerprint scanner, which is pretty fast, secure, and reliable. Plus, on top of the display, alongside the front-facing camera, there is a 3D TOF sensor, which makes the face recognition pretty secure. Now this 3D scanner also helps for some selfie portraits. Now combine that 3D scanner with a 50 megapixel front-facing camera and you get some pretty decent shots. Which takes us to the camera. We got a 50 megapixel main camera, which got the new variable aperture thing. It can go from f1.4 to f2.0. So it can control the light that comes to the sensor manually and precisely to make the focus better and some true-to-life background blurs. Now alongside the main lens, we got a 50 megapixel ultra-wide camera, which doubles as a macro shooter too. And because of that 50 megapixel sensor, you can take some pretty decent and sharp macro shots. And we got a 200 megapixel 3x telephoto camera, no periscope, telephoto, which allows the zoom to go up to 100 times. You know, I kinda wish that Honor used the 5x telephoto instead of the 3x, like the Samsung and Apple, but it's their decision and that 200 megapixel sensor covers it up. Now, as you can see from the sample shots, the photos that you take are pretty detailed and have nice color tones. Not too much saturated and not too pale. It's quite balanced. Now for the zooms, I can say that the highest zoom that you can take a good picture out of it on this phone is around 50 times. More than 50 times, you gotta use the AI option to upscale the photos. To be honest, the camera package on the Honor Magic 7 Pro is pretty good and enjoyable. And of course, it can keep you satisfied for a while. Now, moving on to performance. Honor Magic 7 Pro is rocking a 3nm Snapdragon 8 Elite, as expected of course, which is a drastic jump from the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, because Qualcomm, the owner and the manufacturer of the Snapdragon processor, claims that it's 45% faster in CPU and 40% faster in GPU, and it's 40% more efficient, and it can do the AI stuff and the heavy task 40% faster than the previous generation. Lots of 40s here. And that means that this thing can handle the heavy task and heavy games with ease. I'm talking about highest graphics with the smooth frame rates, which is expected from a flagship smartphone in 2025. I mean, for example, you can play the Genshin Impact at the highest graphics at 60 FPS. You know, in terms of the processing power, Honor loves to put the high-end stuff in their smartphones. Now as for the storage and RAM options, it comes with 256 12GB of RAM, 512 with 12 or 16GB of RAM, and a 1TB option with 16GB of RAM. The RAM is LPDDR5X and the storage is UFS 4.0, so it's crazy fast. Now if you want to make your phone the best of the year, you gotta combine something with the performance. Software. The Honor Magic 7 Pro comes with Android 15 and Magic OS 9. Now as for the AI features, other than Google, Honor has its own AI features as well. For example, it got knuckle search, which is exactly like the circle to search. Why do you even have to use your knuckle to search something? What's wrong with a finger? We got AI translation, of course. Like, you can talk face to face to someone who doesn't have the same language as you. Like, you can talk to your phone in English and it will translate it to Arabic or, I don't know, Spanish or French. Pretty useful for you if you're someone who travels a lot. Now, keep that in mind. It'll support up to 30 languages for now, but it'll support more languages after a few updates. And of course, we got Magic Eraser. Do I really need to explain that? Of course, I will. You can erase someone who's not related to you in a picture or something that shouldn't be there, or someone who's not your friend anymore and you want to delete it from a photo. You can tap on it and it'll be gone forever. And it got text summarization in Honor's Notes app itself. Like for example, you can summarize the essay that you wrote or copied from the internet and change the style to whatever you want. And the other thing that's missing from the Magic OS 9 this year is generative AI. All the companies which are using the AI in their software, mostly the flagships, got something called the generative AI. And it's missing. I don't know why. I mean, like, you got the best processor in an Android device and your phone is totally capable of it, and it's a flagship, but it's still missing the most wanted and important feature that everybody wants to use in AI. Hopefully we can see it on the next updates or Magic OS 10. Now, aside from all the AI stuff that I've talked about, Honor has promised to support the Honor Magic 7 Pro for like 5 years. 4 years of OS support and 5 years of securities. Normally you get 5 years of OS support in Euro. Now for the battery, the Honor Magic 7 Pro got two variants. A 5850 mAh battery for global version and a 5271 for EU. Now the battery in both variants is pretty good. It's made of silicon carbon or carbide, whatever you want to call it, and combined with that efficient processor, which is the Snapdragon 8 Elite that has 40% more efficient cores, you can easily get an all-day battery life. And as for charging, we got a wired 100 watts of super fast charging and 80 watt wireless super fast charging. The speed of the Honor Magic 7 Pro's wireless charging is still twice or 3 times faster than other flagship smartphones. I'm not gonna say the name. And with that 100 watts of super fast charging, you can charge your phone from 0 to 100 for like 40 or 45 minutes, which is pretty good for a phone that could easily last a full day. And that's it. Thank you for watching till now. And if you did, please consider subscribing to the channel and ring the bell so you wouldn't miss the new videos. And don't forget to like the video and drop your nice comments and I will answer to all of them. This is ByteForge and see you in the next one.